Hello everyone, it's graduation season. People stepping out of their undergraduate degrees, some postgraduate degrees, some class 12 students who are entering into the next phase of their student life by deciding which undergraduate course to take up, which diploma courses to do, what to do with their lives basically. And I see a lot of carelessness that people exhibit with regard to choosing their careers, and that is why I thought of making a video to help people and give them ideas and insights into how to choose the right career. One thing I'd like to start off specifying is that it is very important for you to answer this question: how do you see yourself and how do you see your career? You're going to spend a large part of your life working if you decide to work. And it is definitely going to be at least double the time that you spent as a student. Now, this doesn't mean that after you finish your graduation or post graduation that you cannot study further or that you stop learning. I think life is very enriching if you're a continuous learner, and now in the post pandemic era which we are going to experience, and that self learning is going to be really important. So my question is, how do you see yourself and your career? Do you see your work as a means for yourself to make a difference in this world? How do you see it? Or do you see it as a means to earn money and to subsist in life? That is, get a high salary package or work towards getting a high salary package, attaining a certain position or status, being able to amass material things, or, and none of this is bad, or do you see yourself as making a difference to this world, making this world a better, brighter place through your work? And we'll talk about how we can do this, but I would like everybody to start thinking of work in this direction. That is, it is not only a means for you to earn a livelihood or to earn some money, but it is a means for you to make a difference in this world. That is, you've come to this earth with a certain purpose, and you start realizing what that is and start making a difference through your work. That is ideally how you start planning your career. If I had to give you a blank canvas or a piece of paper and ask you to paint a picture on it, I'm sure all of you would be very concerned about making that picture really beautiful. You would be focusing on the end result. What is my painting going to look like? Will it be pleasing to others, and will I like it also, more importantly? And I think you would be very careful about even making one line or what color you put on the canvas. You put a lot of thought into these things. You'd also probably spend some time taking inspiration from other people's work and observing things around you, and then, or observing other pictures and works of other artists, and then working on making that blank canvas beautiful. And how is this connected to a career? We'll come to that in a bit. Similarly, if you had to go on a trip, say you have to go to another country or to another city, I'm sure all of you, if you had to go on a trip, would know your destination. That is where exactly you are headed. You would prioritize making it to that destination safely and in good time. I'm sure, unless you're a last minute person, that you would keep a bit of a buffer as to when you reach and for whatever purpose you're going there, you would leave that buffer for yourself. You would know the stops you would make en route, that is wherever you're headed. You know that okay, if I'm flying to the US, I have a layover in Frankfurt for 3 hours or 5 hours. So you know that in advance. Or you're going from Pune to Mumbai, you know exactly where you're going to stop for tea or refreshments or whatever, or where you're going to fill up fuel. So you roughly know the stops you would make en route to your destination, and you would pack and prepare accordingly. Now, again, what does this have to do with a career? And I'm coming to that. So, with those examples, what I really wanted to prompt you to think about is that most people are more careful about making a painting or planning a trip, but they are not very careful when it comes to something as critical as career planning. And most people don't know where they want to go. Even if they think that they have a vague idea, most of them don't really know where they want to go. They don't have a plan. They go with the flow, or they go with what other people tell them is suitable for them. They don't want to try different things, and they don't do their research. At the same time, they don't take up internships and jobs on the side, where they would garner some experience and be able to understand whether they like it, whether they enjoy it. They don't do all this. They don't do their research and see, okay, what is going to be the future of work when I graduate, say 3 years down the line, or 2 years down the line, I finish my postgraduate degree. Which are the types of jobs which would be available, and how am I going to be a good fit for that? So this is what it is, that career planning is taken very lightly, or people just start thinking of it once they graduate, and there's a whole lot of pressure on guys to start working, and girls to do something, either do something with your life or get married and get settled. So very little thought is given to something which is so important, but a lot of thought and planning would go into something as which would not probably have that kind of a long lasting impact on your life, but you don't pay adequate attention to planning a career. So making the right career decision involves asking the right questions, asking yourself the right questions. And what are those questions? So the questions you need to ask yourself are all about how much do you know about yourself. I would suggest that you sit with a book and think, write down, ask yourself, what are my dreams? What are the life experiences I seek? So my dream could be to travel the world, and the life experiences I seek could be living in different cities, experiencing life on the street there, or the natural beauty there, the food there, the energy of the different places, what you're good at. You need to really focus on these things. What am I good at, rather than just talking about what interests you. Okay, so something that interests you may not necessarily be something that you're really good at. So you may be a foodie, but you may not necessarily be good at cooking. So then you cannot make a career as a chef or a baker or something like that. Or everybody who cooks is not great at baking. So you need to figure out what interests you, yes, but what are you good at? What would you excel at? And also think a little bit about who are your role models, because in life you may want to be like someone, and that might give you a clue as to what sort of a career trajectory you want to have. So if your role model is say a Federer or a Tendulkar, then you know that okay, you idolize somebody who plays sports, but you may not be somebody who's good at playing sports, but you could get into a field like sports management. So these are the things, little things that you need to focus on and think about. So start by getting to know yourself and throwing these questions at yourself and actually writing it down. So when you write it down, it puts things in perspective. So you may think of something and you may forget about it, but when you sit and think about it and you write it down, you're giving some shape to your thoughts and ideas. Self-awareness is the key to making the right career choices. It is the key to taking a lot of informed decisions or good decisions in life, and particularly it will help you as far as your career goes. So give yourself adequate time to think about to what inspires you, uh, what are the developments you see in the world around you, what's the future, what do you really like, what type of a circle are you moving in, and what exactly are people in that circle doing to progress as far as their career goes. Are you collecting enough of life experiences through internships and side hustles or gigs which will help you to amass some experience and do your work well whenever you step into the professional world or the corporate sector, or wherever you decide to make your way in life. I would also suggest that you have your own definition of success. The success is relative, and it is relative to where you are right now vis-a-vis where you were. Always make your own growth and development a benchmark in life, and have your own definition of success. Don't let other people define what is success for you. So having a certain corporate job, drawing a certain salary package, owning a home, a certain type of car, all these need not be your definition of success. And please try and understand that success is not the opposite of failure. Success is built on a lot of failure, and without failing you cannot have success. You cannot be a successful person in life. So all these things need to be corrected when you are planning a career. You need to have the right perspective about these things. One more thing I would recommend is ask yourself whether you're racing against time. Sometimes when we see how people lead their lives, we have this impression that by the time I'm 25 I should have X kind of job, I should be drawing such a salary, I should own a home by 30, I should have my own car or my own two-wheeler by 22, my own car by 25. We have all these uh, parameters which we establish and lay down for ourselves, and everything is in the context of time, because other people usually lead their life like this. So by this time I should have done it, by this time I should have done that. And many a times we look at others and say, okay, so and so started earning at this age, and so if I decide to study right now, you start looking at it as it is a headache, when in fact it is an investment. So please beware of this kind of race against time. If you're doing it, please don't do it. Something else I see a lot of young people doing as far as career planning goes is they make these extremely popular choices. in making that choice, nothing that they're really good at or what interests them figures anywhere. So because a lot of people who are studying commerce and business studies, their parents tend to think that doing a chartered accountancy course or becoming a cost accountant or say becoming a company secretary is cool, and it is the thing that you should be doing. And so that is why they start punishing themselves literally and putting themselves through that sort of drudgery in order to just go with the popular choice. So I know people who compel their children to leave design and do chartered accountancy, and the poor child has invested 3 years of her life in that and has not been able to make the cut for CA, and finally had to tell her parents that okay, I did what you wanted me to do for 3 years, but I couldn't make it. So now please, will you please let me do what I want to do and let me do design. So what I see is parents do not realize that if your child is interested in art, is creative, wants to do animation or wants to do design, that can be a very lucrative career option. That can be somewhere where people are not going to be replaced by say a bot or a robot. So the thing is, are you making a popular choice? Are you really doing something because you want to do it? So you need to think about it. Another factor which often drives career choices is family expectations. That is, my parents want me to do XYZ thing. They want me to pursue a certain career path. They want me to go abroad and study. So whether or not I want to do it, okay, I do it because my parents expect me to do it. My environment is such that okay, you have supposing you have a situation where your family is economically not that well off that they can afford to fund your further studies. So instead of looking for a scholarship and probably going after what it is that you're good at and what you can excel at, you could be making a decision to okay, I'll work now and I'll just do say a distance education course, and that is just for the sake of doing, because you want that label that I am pursuing a particular degree or diploma or whatever, but true learning will not take place. Plus you will be stuck in a dead end job which you won't enjoy. So I would say be creative, try to bloom in spite of whatever difficulties you have. So where there's a will, there's a way. I'm sure you'll be able to look for scholarships. I'm sure you would be able to if you are good at teaching children, you could give them tuitions or run classes and earn quite well enough if you're not only teaching them for school purposes, but if you're good at art, you could teach art. If you're good at music, you could teach that. You can train children in martial arts if you're good at it, and some sports. So these are ways in which you can earn an income for yourself, which you probably don't even explore or don't even look at. Something that you need to really be aware of is who's your competition. When you step out into the world after getting your degree in hand, who are you competing with? Most likely you're going to be competing with technology, artificial intelligence, robots. They're already here, and you need to know what's the future of work. So the future of work is going to be remote and hybrid. You're going to have to be somebody who is able to work independently, somebody who's able to work remotely, somebody who excels at writing and communicating and problem solving, and somebody who's a lifelong learner. Now, are you all these things? Because if you are somebody who thinks कि अच्छा मेरी degree, I have just finished my bagged my degree now and that's the end of my education, well then you're not going to be cut out for the future of work, because the future of work demands a continuous lifelong learner. So you need to know who's your competition. Just don't be complacent and think that, okay, I'm better out of everybody in my class or in my college, and that's why I'm going to be the one who's going to be a threat to others. But that's not the thing. You obviously would be competing with all these things, with technology, with artificial intelligence, with robots. So only the humane side of you, if you nurture that and you hone your skills as a human being, you will be irreplaceable. So somebody like a hairdresser or a bartender, these people, a doctor, they cannot be replaced by a robot. So which is the career trajectory which you are taking? If you're going to take up something like analyzing some balance sheets or something like that, very soon you might find that there is a robot who can do that, or there is a machine program which can do that. So you need to know who's your competition. I think you'll have a very enriching career if you make a choice which is purpose driven, where you start seeing your work as a means of making this world a better place, making a difference, and being really unique. So, I have some more ideas coming up on how you can do this soon. But meanwhile, I hope these pointers will help you in making decisions regarding your career in the right direction. That is, what's the right fit for you, not what's popular, what other people expect of you, what you should be doing in this circumstances. No, I would say that the sky is the limit. Have the highest standards for yourself. So if you want to study at you want to study further, then why not at the best college or the best institute in that domain? You start at the highest level and then you maybe can come down. But if you start at a lower level, then what happens is that you find it very difficult to go. You can't go up because you've already started at a lower level. So thank you for listening. I hope this helps you, and do keep an eye out for my next series of videos. Thank you. This is Dr. Mariam Naruna.